Hello boys and girls. We're going to start out this video this evening with some shop card shout outs. We have some new cards we received over the last week or so, and I wanted to share that with you right now. So starting off, we have shop card from Hobby Barn. Has some nice words on the back from Terry. And we just want to say thank you, and your card is, I think you have received your card already from me. Next up we have Frizzo's model cars. We have actually two cards from him, and I do know that he got his card already from me. Nice words on the back from Frank on those. Thank you for that. And we received from our buddy Jeff, we received his new shop card along with the stickers. And he got my new shop card a week or two ago, and again, thanks for the nice words on the back, Jeff. So that's our shop card update, and as always, if you want a shop card from me, my email address will be on the description. It's on the about page on my channel, or there it is right there. That's my shop card. If you want a copy of that shop card, drop me an email with your address and I will send one out to you. So we'll move on to the next part of the video.
This is the great one, the ultimate driving machine. And if you don't know what that means, you're excused. But if, when you see this car, you're seized with an uncontrollable urge to plant yourself behind the wheel and head for the wide open spaces, then we're talking to you. The great one is an idea on wheels. The idea that there's more to driving than just moving from place to place in isolated indifference. The great one is 400 cubic inches of glistening engine. The great one is a superb road-handling chassis. The great one is bucket seats, carpeting, and a walnut-styled instrument panel. The great one is Pontiac GTO for 1967. Isn't it time you decided to ride the wide-track winning streak? The great one is here.
We are starting with this kit. So a lot of you probably already know where we're going. It just so happens that the chassis for this kit is a perfect fit. Well, it will be a perfect fit. Is now a perfect fit for this kit. In fact, we've already started knocking things up. The wheelbase is exactly the same, which, considering they're both 67 GM cars, was not surprising, and from the same manufacturer, the same scale. So the basically the entire chassis, engine, and whatnot from the Chevelle will be going in the GTO. The only difference I had to make on the GTO was I cut out the core support that was in there so that we could use the core support that comes with the Chevelle kit, because it's much nicer than the original from the kit, from the GTO kit, which is part of the design for those I call them showroom cars that the dealer would give to the kids when their mom and dad were buying the car. Then they would give them the plastic model already assembled, which was a lot of the AMT model kits came from. But I said it fits. The wheelbase is the same. The chassis fits in perfectly. In fact, I can even use the interior from the GTO will still fit inside the inside. So it's all going to be basically from the chassis down is going to be the Chevelle, and the body, all the body interior is all going to be the GTO. GTO does come with a Pro Stock style high-rise hood in addition to the stock hood. And if you get the gold, the GTO that's in a box with the gold car on the front, it has, which was the tooling parts added for the Vin Diesel Triple X movie GTO car. It actually has a plain hood without any hood scoop at all. So if you wanted to add, say, this hood scoop to it, you could. We are probably going to go with. I'll paint them both up, but we'll probably go with the stock hood on this model once we get it that far. And we're back. Show some progress on our Pro Street GTO. In the last segment, we kind of showed how I was planning to marry the parts together between the 67 Chevelle and the 67 GTO. The entire chassis section fit right into the GTO body without any issues. So we were able to use, the only thing I had to do was, I talked about in the last section, was cut out the radiator core support strut thing, if you want it, whatever you want to call it. The plastic bar that goes between the fenders in the front on the GTO body, because we could use the core support for the Chevelle. So basically, the only parts that we're going to be using out of the GTO box are the interior bucket, and even there, I did a few modifications. I'm going to did a few modifications, and the glass, the body of the glass, the chrome, the outer skin, everything else internal is from the 67 Chevelle. With that being said, so we made a little progress over the course of the last couple of days. We have our, let me adjust the camera down here a little bit. We have our chassis built. Instead of the high-rise intake manifold that came with the Chevelle kit, I used the stock intake from the intake manifold from the GTO, but I did use the very top section of the high-rise manifold and the carburetors from the Chevelle. So it's still back to a dual carb, dual 4-barrel, big block, and then you can see, I'll try and zoom in here, adjust the camera down. We did wired our distributor. I used 22,000 solder because then I can paint it whatever color I want it to be for the particular model, and I can bend it and shape it however I want it to be, and it stays that shape. We did a for the coil here, we ran the wire for the coil wire, and that's actually part of a fuel pump from another kit. I think it's from, actually it's from the fuel pump from the GTO kit. I used half of that and turned it into the condenser coil. So we've got our master cylinder there. We got a radiator or AC Delco battery. We did run wires for the battery. We do have, as you can see down here, we have both the upper and lower radiator hoses. We have a recovery bottle, or condenser, vapor tank there, and everything, all the other goodies that make up the motor. Back this out a little bit more again. I'll turn it over. Yep, wrong way. I'll never learn. This is the stock Chevelle under chassis. We painted it with diamond dust silver, and then put a wash of Tamiya black on it, and then went back with an aluminum color to highlight the frame for it. The one thing on the Chevelle that I didn't really like was the wheels. The tires are fine, I just didn't like the wheels. So I also happen to have the 66 Nova Pro Street kit, and so I stole the tires out of the wheels out of that kit for this one. I had to use a little spacer ring between the fronts and the backs on the rears to get them to fit, and on the fronts I had to sand them down quite a bit to make them thin enough. But I'm much happier with that than I was with the wheels from the Chevelle. And anybody knows a good source for the deep wheels that fit the tires from the Chevelle kit, be it 3D printed or whatever, I would like to know that, because I plan on doing a few more of these, and say I don't like the Chevelle wheels at all. That four cross looking thing, I just don't like it. Some solid American Racings would be great, or something like these centerline types would be fine, or even Krager 5-spokes would be great. I know what Fred does is he sands them down the back of them to get the centers out, and then uses centers from another wheel and glues it in. I may try that at some point in the future, but I don't have any spares to test on, so if I screw it up, then I'm shot. So, but anyway, that's that. We started painting our interior. At this period of time, almost all of the GTOs had black carpet, black headliner, black package tray, and then just the door cards and the seats were a different color depending on the color of the car. So that's what we did. Our console will fit in there. Still got to put the accelerator pedal in, and I did got the ashtrays painted and the seatbelt buckles. I still got to put the decals in for the GTO logos on the door panels, and that's basically ready to be clear coated. So that's our chassis. Well, let me find the box. I also have our roll bar for the chassis. Has been painted again with that same Tamiya diamond dust or diamond pearl. I don't remember what they call it. It's a silver. It's a metallic silver pearl. We got that, which drops in there. So that's the interior basic. Well, we got more actually. We got one. These are the seats from the Chevelle. We painted our seat belts on, and we're going to use those in there. Our steering wheel, I got painted. And for the dash, we have it ready. I used a decal from the Revell 66 GTO to do the instrument panel and the GTO on the dash. They don't exactly fit, but they're pretty close. So that worked out real nice. I'm real happy with that. I'll try and zoom in here, but if not, I'll do still pictures at the end to show you that a little better. But I do like the way that turned out. There's our dash. So that brings us to I have both hoods here. Let me widen this back out. This is the stock hood with the tack added to the hood, and this is what they call their racing hood, which would cover if you want to use the blower or the tall intake manifold with the velocity stacks. You would use this hood. If all possible, I'm going to try to use the stock hood. I add the low air cleaners to the engine if they'll fit. If not, we'll just leave it without air cleaners on there. And they also have, let's see if I can do this. I have to adjust the camera here. Hey everybody, all in primer. And ready for paint. This is the second round of primer that's on it now. I did a first round, did some sanding, and the second round I do a lot of filler on the trunk to get rid of the sink marks, and I did miss one on that rear quarter, but I'm not gonna go back and worry about it. So we've got that ready. So the next thing I've got to do is to start painting, but I have decided I'm torn between this folk art craft acrylic metallic. It's called antique copper. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't know if I can get a good angle on it or not. I'm thinking of that color, or I got this dark cherry. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I'm leaning more towards this antique copper. That's just a really nice color. Let me see if we can do this. Let me just put a small glop of it on here so you can see it better. That's the color there. So what I may do, or what I'm going to do, is paint the tall hood, this hood with it, to see how I like it before I commit to the rest, because I've got extra one of these. If I don't like it, I've got more hoods. But that's the color I'm thinking I want to go with. And if it doesn't go well on that hood, then we'll do the dark cherry red. But I like it. I think look at it as more of a metallic root beer color than copper, but I like it, and I think that's the color I'm going to go with. So that's where we're at. I will throw some pictures up, some close-up shots of the stuff we've got going on. of the build so far. Oh, one last thing. While everything's apart, let me show you. This is the console for the GTO. The GTO as it comes is designed to be an automatic, so it has the Hurst, his and her shifter in it. But I wanted to be, since it's a drag car, we wanted to have a manual, so I used the manual dashboard from the 69 GTO for the dash, and then I used the manual stick shift from the Cervelle. In case you're asking, yes, I know most GTOs had a wood grain console, but my GTO had a red, metallic red console to go with the Hurst, his and her shifter. So every time I do a 67 GTO, I always put the red console in it. But that's also ready, and then we've got, of course, our rear bumper with the grrr plate on it for the Tiger, GTO Tiger. So anyway, that's where we're at on this Pro Street build for the 67 GTO, and hope you like what you see. And as always, comments, suggestions are always welcome. Again, if you want to get one of my shop cards, send me an email, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.